Joseline's Cabaret, Texas, episode 6 review slash recap. So they finished with the obstacle course, and Joseline was like, okay, so remember it was two teams. So from the first team, she chose Envy, Erica, Andrea, and Neek as the winners. And then from the other team, she chose Jayla, Isis, and Oceans. So they'll all be safe from the next elimination. So she basically told those six that she wants them to compete one more time because she's gonna also give one of them $1,000. She's like, y'all are competing for $50,000, but I do want to give y'all opportunities along the way throughout the season to put money in y'all pocket. Mind you, Danny's sitting in the back with this fucking Joker ass smile, like, I'm like, girl, you just smiling, but you low key mad she ain't do that shit for y'all. Cause on y'all season, it was just whoever competing for them, whoever wins the money at the end wins the money, and it wasn't even that much. So after they competed again, Jayla was in third place, Isis was in second place, and Neek was in first place, and she won the $1,000. So after that, Joseline is like, are y'all ready for elimination time? Kay decides to say, oh, can I say something? And was like, oh, Erica, you wanted to fight me, so let's just fight. Kay, you literally just saved everybody from getting eliminated because you got beat up so bad that Joseline was like, you know what? Fuck the eliminations. But yeah, so Kay called out her fade with Envy Erica, the girl who is beefing with her because Kay supposedly said she was prettier. And like I said, everybody be saying that y'all like Kay and y'all feel bad for her acting like she a victim. She called out the fade. Erica was like, girl, I don't even want to fight you. I just finished. But she was like, okay, you want that? Like, come on. Like, they both lame. Because Erica reasoning about the pretty shit is lame, but Kay is not, like, a favorite of mine. I just don't see what y'all see in her. I'm sorry. I don't see the victimhood, and I don't see the prettiness. So like I said, Erica tore Kay up. At some point, she was literally riding Kay's neck like a fucking horse. Yeehaw, yeehaw. But when they get them apart, they see that Kay's face is bloody, and Joseline's like, paramedics ASAP, paramedics ASAP. I'm like, yeah, you keep bringing this girl Kay back or wanting to keep her in the house. Every time she get into a fight, you have to call the ambulance. She bleeds very easily, and she must not be getting no hits in. Every time she get into a fight, she leaking, she knotted up. She's something where she requires medical attention. So after Joseline decides that she's not going to eliminate anybody, she goes in the back to check on Kay. And here comes Envy Erica walking into the room with Joseline and Kay. And Kay is like, girl, why are you here? Because it's like now Erica talking about she feel bad and she want to apologize. It's like, girl, like I said, I see both sides. Kay came and called her out for a fight, so of course she not going to turn down no fade. So maybe you do feel bad, but at the end of the day, if a bitch came to me and said she wanted to fight me and I fought her and I had to whoop her ass, I'm not going in there 5 minutes later and apologizing to her. Like, no. And not even to apologize, to check on her, because Erica didn't even go to Kay to apologize. She went to check on her and say, oh, you don't want to have a conversation with me? Why would she want to have a conversation with you and she's fucking bleeding? So Joseline is like, Erica, at the end of the day, what are you in here for? Because I can't let y'all go again. Her eye looks crazy. And then she was in her confessionals like, I think Erica might be evil because she's hitting her all in her Botox. At least hit the bitch in the coochie. In my opinion, Kay is genuinely annoying and genuinely just brings up shit at the wrong times and it rubs people the wrong way. Envy Erica, I feel like she wanted a storyline and she knew that for the first couple of episodes she was barely featured and definitely wasn't a main cast member. So she looked for something to make herself a main cast member and now she's getting it. And people already don't like Kay, at least in the house. So it's like she thought it would work in her favor. So obviously Kay didn't really want to hear what Erica had to say. So she was like, okay, well, if you still feeling some type of way, whenever you heal, we could run it again. Because I'm not about to keep like trying to talk to you about it. So as soon as Kay is feeling better, her and Erica will definitely be having another round. So Kay was like, I've been fighting all my life with ex-boyfriends. Now I gotta fight bitches. So I'm wondering if she's like a situation like Little Kim, where the reason she started getting plastic surgery is because of injuries she had from domestic violence. That would make a little bit more sense to me and make me have more empathy for her and how she looks. But Joseline was like, I'm going to make sure nobody else touches you because, like, basically the way you look right now, she said you look like the Elephant Man and that can't happen. And I'm going to insert a picture of the Elephant Man for those who don't know who that is. When she said that, I said Joseline is really insane. Like, why would you say that? And like Joseline said, it got to be the Botox that makes you, like, bleed that easily and bruise that easily. Because she said Erica hits look like bounties, like paper towels. Them shits was soft. But she bust your face. And then all the girls are hyping Erica up when she walked back in the room like she really did something. Like, I don't think Erica hits that hard. It doesn't look like it. So like I said, Joseline got this crazy soft spot for Kay. She all like, oh, what can I do to make you more comfortable? I'm going to protect you and make sure nobody else puts their hands on you. I'm going to get you a hotel night tonight, this, that, and the third. I'm just like, why do you like this girl so much? So after Kay leaves, they all sit in there talking with Erica, and then Queen Envy decides to bring up how Hennessy said that she would run a fade with Rose if it came down to it, or if it came down to them competing for a spot. So before I continue telling the story, I would just say that I don't really think I like Hennessy. Like I said, she seems very messy and a bit fake. but I do think I like Rose. She seems real, and even though she's young, she seems like she can peep and see through a lot of bullshit, and like she not gonna let TV shit gas her up or ruin friendships that she got outside of the show, and I can respect that. So Envy asked Hennessy like, "Oh, you cool with me or you wanted that?" Because remember they had the words on the bus on the last episode, and Hennessy like, "It is what it is." So Envy like, "Okay, so what's up?" and punched her. So they start fighting. So Envy got that first good hit on Hennessy, but after that she was doing a whole lot of grabbing and wrestling, not a lot of punching, and she was doing a lot of hair pulling. But eventually Hennessy started flipping her ass, and Hennessy ended up on top of Queen Envy, and she was punching. And everybody kept trying to amp Rose up, like to get up and hit Hennessy. And she like, I'm not doing that to somebody who I've been cool with and hanging with off camera. Like, me and her could talk about this shit off camera and I could get the full story from my friend. I'm not taking none of y'all bitches' words for nothing. So Oceans and Jayla was like the main ones talking about how they don't like that. They don't like how Hennessy moving. And Rose was kind of crying and shit. And she was just like, she was hurt. But she like, I'm going to address it on my own. Because they was all like, well, y'all could just fight and then hug and kiss afterwards. No, I hate when people do that. Because if you could hug and kiss with somebody right after fighting them, that means that y'all really didn't need to fight. So the fact that she knows that as a 21-year-old woman is the difference between her and y'all. Like, she's a grown-ass woman. Like, if I could talk to somebody, I'm going to talk to them. What's the point of me fighting somebody if it's really not that deep and we could get over it right after the fight? That means we never needed to fight. So the next day, Rose goes to Hennessy and she's like, okay, let's go for a walk and talk about what happened yesterday. And like I said, I like Rose. She's mature and she's like, yeah, we do got that understanding at the end of the day. We came here as friends, but it's a competition. We here for the grand prizes. If it came down to me and her and we had to fight for the 50K, and if that meant that we literally had to fight for the 50K, then we would just have to fight and we'll move on from it after if we going to. So they hugged it out. Like I said, I do like Rose. I don't really like Hennessy. I do feel like Rose should keep an eye on Hennessy, but I don't think it was nothing that was worth fighting her about yet. But if it ever do come down to a situation where they have beef, I will likely be Team Rose. So now we see Joseline in her little office, and we have Andrea coming in to have a meeting with Joseline. And you know she's been getting on Joseline's bad side lately. And also remember that Andrea volunteered to be the new house mom. So she's telling Andrea she's disappointed in her. She's 25, still acting 20. Do she want to go home early? And this is all based on when Andrea supposedly got this call and somebody was telling her like, oh, are you okay? I heard you've been fighting at Joseline's house, blah, blah, blah. And Joseline was like, why are y'all talking to any men? And they never figured out who supposedly told the information about Andrea. So Joseline was like, I will break you. I will come after everything you love. And Andrea's like, I know you will. Yes, ma'am. Like, these girls just be letting her say whatever. So Joseline asked Andrea if she had to fight Danny for the 50K, what would she do? Andrea said she's splitting it. Joseline said, I think you full of shit. The fly kept flying around Andrea, and Joseline was like, look, the fly keep flying on you. You so shitty, the fly's on you. And Andrea basically told Joseline, listen, I've made 50K in the club from dancing personally. I don't know about these other girls, but I'd much rather be stripping in a club for 50K than fighting and killing the next bitch for 50K and still having to dance, especially if it comes down to somebody who's like my best friend. So Joseline was like, yeah, okay, you're very naive. I'm like, is Andrea waking up and decided not to be a lapdog anymore after she got that beating from ISIS? So Joseline tells Andrea, I'm not liking you right now. Something ain't right about you and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. But for now, go gather the ladies so we could go rehearse. I'm just trying to figure out what are they going to come up with for Joseline to say is wrong with Andrea. Are they going to use her voodoo girl name against her? So we see all the girls getting ready to go rehearse, getting dressed and stuff. So when they got on the bus for rehearsals, Rose was like, oh, do you think that the people who were safe yesterday after the obstacle course challenge are safe today? And they were all like, yeah, I would think so. I would hope so. And then she was like, and where's Chinks? So everybody was giggling like, oh, we forgot about her. We wasn't even thinking about her. And Lexi said in her confessional, like, you know, if they know Chinks, like I know Chinks, she's very quiet. She's very to herself. So if she was gone, it really wouldn't be nothing to miss. And that's true. That's why I liked her. Like, she's cute. She had a nice body, but she was pretty quiet and out the way. But if something was wrong and she felt like it was wrong, she would speak up. And then, of course, I was biased because she's a New Yorker. And Oceans was like, yeah, you know, I don't know exactly what happened, but I did see her get escorted out of the room last night with all of her stuff. Like, she had a suitcase and everything. So then we get Chinks's exit interview and outro, and she was just like, she did decide to leave. She felt like this wasn't the place for her and that she's grown from shit like this. And she was just like, I don't feel like $50,000 is worth my morals. And I know some people would say, how is she talking about morals and she's on Joseline's Cabaret? But, you know, people have different morals. Like, obviously, she doesn't mind doing all of the stripping and sexualized stuff for the money. But when it comes to, like, fighting other women and sneaking girls and jumping girls for money and to be on TV, that's something that she's not comfortable doing. And I can only respect that, even though I did like Chink's personality and, you know, I did want to see more of her on the show. And the last thing Chink said on her exit interview is, Lexi, I hope you win, because you know if you win that money, it's going to find its way back to me. Basically saying if Lexi wins the 50K, the boyfriend slash pimp is going to take the money from Lexi and he's going to spend some of it on Chinks. So it'll be interesting to see what happens between these two at the reunion for sure. So Isis asked Rose were her and Hennessy cool while they all on the bus, and Rose and Hennessy was sitting right next to each other. Hennessy just had her eyes closed, like basically like, I don't want to hear what these bitches saying. I don't know why they keep asking about me and my friend's situation. So Rose responds to Isis and she's just like, yeah, we're good. I just didn't like how stuff, was aired out. But Rose was like, again, I'm not about to let some girls I don't know convince me to fight somebody who I know before this show. So Hennessy jumped in and she was like, yeah, and you need to also add in that we had personal conversations about all of this stuff before. So whatever y'all trying to manipulate it into to turn me and her against each other, it's not going to work, basically. So Neek jumped in and she was like, Rose, you need to stop making excuses for your friend. You a real ass bitch and she not. So Hennessy, like, she don't need to make no excuses for me. I don't need no saving. I don't give a fuck what you feel like. So she's standing up on Neek, basically like, again, y'all bitches need to mind y'all business between me and my friend. Because if Rose not saying nothing, if she's cool with this, then like I said, all I could say is I like her and I feel like she need to watch her back with Hennessy. But if I was in that situation, I wouldn't be trying to force her to not be friends with this girl. She knew her before me. And Rose still really don't know none of them. So Hennessy keeps saying, oh, we could fight right now. And Neek is like, oh, I'm not fighting on the bus because I already fought on the bus at the beginning of the season. But she keep popping shit the whole ride and standing up on the chair saying if Hennessy hit her, she gonna kick her and stuff. So I don't know what was going on with Neek because she was popping all that shit on the bus. Like, oh, I'm gonna see you off the bus. And I mean, Neek just keep going. Now Hennessy sitting down again, not even saying nothing. And Neek is like, oh, you're a bum. Do your edges over. When's the last time you did your hair over? Your fat ass shoes. You don't fit in. You didn't know you was going to be on TV. Everybody here is cute ass bitches and you're a bum. I'm like, okay, so she should be prepared to fight when they get off the bus, right? So Jayla is like, I whispered to Neek and was like, just be prepared when we get off this bus, which is what I'm saying. Like, girl, you done popped all this shit. You done told her, yeah, you're not going to fight her on the bus, but as soon as you get off the bus, you ready for it. So be ready for it. And she said Neek was just like, oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm ready to go rehearse. What? After you just spent the whole bus ride talking shit and the girl is telling you when we get off this bus, I'm going to fight you? So Hennessy gets off the bus and waits right on the side of the bus, sees every single girl get off the bus, and then as soon as Neek gets off the bus, she pops her. So it cuts off in the middle of their fight, so I can't really give you an exact answer on who I feel like won, but from what I see right now, it's giving Hennessy. So next week on episode 7, Hennessy is going to rip Neek's wig, like I guess completely rip it in half. And obviously Neek is very upset and Jocelyn is just trying to calm it down. Then we see Jocelyn letting the girls know that 5 of them are going to be doing this choreography for the Domino music video, which if we look back at the intro, we could probably figure out who those 5 girls are already. But yeah. So I'll see y'all next week for episode 7 of Joseline'S Cabaret, Texas. Bye.